Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first episode of Beer My Wife Bought Me. I am your host, Josh, and I came up with an idea for a show a couple months ago and said, it would be a good idea. I was going to send my wife to the store and say, that singles rack, where you can get any beer for $1.99. It's a good-sized rack at the gas station up the street. Pick any beer for any reason. She's not a beer drinker, so she has really no idea what she is looking for. She knows what I like, but she doesn't like anything that I like. She doesn't really like any type of beer. And so the first trip to the store was a resounding success. She came back with a beer that I thought was a perfect example of why this show could be relatively successful. So I'm going to get right to it. And really, this is just a beer review show, but it's about beer that my wife brings me. I'm sure some of them will be good. Some of them will be bad. Some of them may not even be beer. It would not surprise me. So let's take a look at our first beer of the show. And it is Redbridge. Redbridge is a product that is gluten-free. It is a sorghum-based beer made without wheat or barley. So I do believe that by the Bavarian law, this is not actually even beer. This, I believe, is an Anheuser-Busch product. Yep, an Anheuser-Busch. Ingredients listed here. I've never seen beer with an actual ingredient list, like it's like on the side of a box of cereal or something. Water, fermented sorghum, which is just sorghum and corn syrup. That's gross. Hops and yeast, to be expected. She came home with this beer, and let me try to get it back into camera here and get it into the frame a little bit. And I asked her, what was the reasoning behind the beer, right? I had some material. And she said, well, I don't know anything about beer, but it just reminded me of the movie Beetlejuice. And I thought it was actually a very good representation of the bridge that is in the movie Beetlejuice, although I suspect that this will not be nearly as good as the actual movie. So I'm going to crack it open, give it a pour, see what we got. Get the old wet hands here. Twist off, of course, Anheuser-Busch. Let's give it a go. Had an interesting fizz to it, almost like soda. Very quickly, rapidly dissipating. And now it just kind of looks like a flat, watered down soda. You know how after like a college party, you'll come downstairs and there'll be the glass of somebody's Jack and Coke that they poured at 2:30 in the morning, loaded it with ice, and this is what was left after they had a couple of sips of it before they passed out in their own vomit. Looked a lot like this. Let's give it a smell here. I just washed my hands upstairs with soap, so either it's really gross beer or it smells a lot like my hand soap. Wow, and that is really gross beer. All right. It's got some small fruit. I don't know, like a plum or like a dark raisin. Ugh, does not smell good. It smells almost like a brown ale. I'm going to give it a sip here. Now this is, I don't even know. Is this even alcoholic? Am I even going to enjoy this? Here we go. So alcohol content, 4% by volume. So no, probably not. Oh, that is absolutely disgusting. Oh. Back end tasted like a used leather boot. Oh, that is terrible. Oh, it almost has a grape, like a crappy, unfermented grape juicy wine, gross taste to it right up front. And then it kicks you in the ass on the way back with a leather shoe. Oh, that is something awful. Anheuser-Busch by Redbridge. Certainly not the Beetlejuice of beers. Perhaps if we say Redbridge 3 times, it'll disappear. Redbridge, Redbridge, Redbridge? Fuck.